The gig economy and real wages are key subjects in the UK's financial discussions, marked by short-term contracts and freelance work with lower hourly wages than the national average. As interest in platform-based jobs rises, a crucial question emerges. How would increased traditional wages impact the gig economy? Exploring the impact of a wage increase on freelancers' work hours, our model illustrates the relationship between hours worked and spending on a composite good Y with a fixed wage W. The essential wage hike, prompted by the cost of living crisis, expands the gig economy as workers aim to maximize income by working more hours. With a higher wage W2, gig economy workers may opt for fewer hours, prioritizing leisure. The income effect dominates the substitution effect, altering the price of leisure in their favor. This shift primarily affects upper-tier workers, while the majority, influenced by a modest minimum wage increase, tends to work more hours, contributing to overall gig economy growth.
Using supply and demand. As minimum wage increases, minimum wage employees experience an increase in buying power. Therefore, there will be a higher demand for gig economy services as they are considered normal goods. This results in the demand curve shifting out, leading to an increase in both equilibrium, quantity and price. As well as that, companies may face challenges with increased wage bills, driving them to adopt automation and technology. Hence, there will be an initial rise in unemployment as companies shift away from human labor. As a result, displaced workers may turn to the gig economy. When using Uber Eats as an example, this will increase the supply of services as there is an increase in the number of drivers. Therefore, supply curve shifts out, causing an increase in equilibrium quantity and a decrease in equilibrium price.
The graph demonstrates the effect of a minimum wage increase on the consumption of goods and services provided by the gig economy. It depicts a budget constraint with two goods, F and S. Using this model, we assume that F is a composite good representing a gig economy good such as Uber Eats deliveries, whilst S is a good from a traditional sector. There's a clear increase in the wage rates from M1 to M0, shifting the budget line upwards. Both consumption goods are affected, causing the gradient to remain unchanged. This reveals that we will have an increased demand for both F and S goods, and for workers in the gig economy, causing it to grow. We assume that gig employers have not raised prices in response to the increased labour costs, which would have an adverse effect on the consumption of goods.
An increase in minimum wage would increase the pool of workers looking for structured employment, but the demand would drop due to increased operating costs. Therefore, there would be a large increase in unemployment as organisations try to maintain profits. To counter this without bringing negative effects to workers, decreasing corporation tax would lessen the unemployment caused by the increase in minimum wage, as it would balance the organisation's costs. This would also maintain to a relative level the size of the gig economy. Furthermore, in order to make work in the gig economy more desirable in response to an increased minimum wage, there should be increased benefits and effective wages for those working in this sector, in accordance with the growth of the gig economy as a whole. As the biggest drawback is the lack of security in working for companies such as Uber, so increased security would further grow the size of the gig economy.